Terrific dating advice you'll find tremendously enlightening if you're a man watching this, and if you're a woman watching this, you'll be able to communicate this clearly and really appreciate it. What makes me unique as an individual to be able to teach this to you? There are a lot of countless amounts of people, especially nowadays, who are teaching you things, whether it's in dating or relationships or business, that you have to really introspect and see whether or not this is the kind of person who's qualified to be able to teach you those things. Because there are a lot of people who teach you not qualified, but because their sole profession is to teach those things. They only do it to make money, whether or not they're qualified or not. For example, people whose job it is to speak. There are people who get paid a lot of money just to speak and teach, whether or not you look into their life and whether or not they're actually practicing what they're preaching. So what makes me tremendously unique? 3 things that I thought makes me unique for you to be able to listen. And this is why, and I implore you to really listen in, because this will be very important for you in many different aspects of your life, especially in the areas of finding mentors. I'm not saying I'm going to be your mentor. I'm not saying that you should look at me as your mentor. I'm saying that when you're looking for somebody who you can emulate or learn from, look at where it's coming from them. Do they have biases? Do they have agendas not necessarily conducive to making you or you're getting the best experience and the best learning that you could possibly get? So what makes someone qualified to be able to teach you, and especially in this area, that makes me qualified? And then I'll go over the number 1 mistake you're making. The number 1 mistake you're making when it comes to dating. All right, and when you learn what I'm about to teach you, which is your number 1 mistake in dating, it actually covers many different areas of your life. And we'll go back to, and I'm going to go back now to what qualifies me. Now, there are people who are dating coaches. There are people who are relationship consultants. I myself am one of those. I've been a dating coach, relationships coach for over 13 years. But the thing is that you have to look at what is it about them that makes them not qualified to teach those things. There are people who give dating advice that are not good at relationships. I want you to listen to that again. There are people who give dating advice who are awful at relationships. The PUA community, the pickup artist community, which is a large community of men who solely learn the skills of picking up women, which I've learned a lot from. A lot of them are awful in relationships, but they're very, very good at pickup. Now I want you to really look at that and say, do they have the whole picture? And do they approach the relationships, the approach to relationship as something that's wholesome and holistic? And there are people who are relationship counselors who are biased towards the standard being, hey, you must be married, or you must be in a relationship, or the standard, you must follow the standard, which is eventually you should marry in a monogamous relationship. Most all of relationship counselors are like that. Now, I want you to think about something. If you have a bias towards a standard, do you think that you will be teaching people the wrong things? There are a lot of people, for example, who are biased against a certain profession. For example, if you are an adult worker and you went to someone who is a tax preparer or not a tax strategist, would you listen to them about their tax strategy or their relationship strategy if they don't have knowledge about your profession? For example, if you're someone in an open relationship, you wouldn't go to a counselor who specifically teaches people who are married couples who are eventually going to be engaged in marriage, because they're not going to teach you, you're not going to find what you're looking for. So what makes me tremendously unique? What makes me tremendously unique is, number 1, I've been a dating coach and relationship consultant for over 13 years. Number 2 is I'm in an open relationship. Well, you say, Roan, you're already in a fantastic and amazing relationship. I'm looking at the time. A great relationship with someone who is not only beautiful and sexy and smart, but also enlightened. Someone who's someone who's sexually independent, someone who's independent herself. She could survive on her own. And she is enlightened in many of the ways that a man could only dream their relationships, their girlfriends would be, or not only girlfriends, but their partners would be. And so I say to that, well, I'm in an open relationship and I'm engaged in dating all the time. And although I don't follow the standard dating model, I follow a different dating model, which I don't date. I meet people whom I align, whom I enjoy, and they could enjoy me, and I have friends. Leaving that alone for now, I am not out of the dating pool, so to speak. I am constantly meeting people and I'm engaging with them in a sexual manner. And I encourage my sweetie to engage with people in a sexual manner as well. But I'm not going to talk about why I'm in an open relationship right now. There's many videos that I have about that. The other thing that makes me qualified is that I also have the top Tantra therapy business in Las Vegas. I think it's very good. I have a lot of people that appreciate me. I have a lot of people that leave me amazing reviews in the business. So what do I do in Tantra therapy? Well, what I do is I facilitate an experience for people to explore the holistic aspect of their life. So it takes a tremendous amount of maturity and empathy for the opposite sex for you to be able to do that. The third thing that qualifies me is that my profession for several years, for a handful of years, I was a former professional dominatrix in which my sole job was to facilitate other people's sexual experience, sensual experience of themselves, a holistic approach to that. So that qualifies me tremendously. Not only am I teaching what I'm preaching, not only do I practice what I preach, I am constantly engaged in it. I'm tremendously qualified about it because I'm in the areas where not only do I engage with people in a dating aspect, but I also engage it so that the end result, the end outcome, is a relationship which any of you would like, whether you want a monogamous relationship, whether you want an open relationship, whatever relationship you have. It's conducive. It begins with, it presumes a relationship which you would actually like. When you get the outcome that you like, remember, how would you behave in the beginning so that you get that outcome, so you make that outcome inevitable? And that is the advice that I provide for you. So with 3 minutes left to spare, what is the number one mistake you're making? Men and women, listen to this. Your number one mistake you're making is that you don't love and honor and respect yourself foremost. Let me define that. What does that mean? To honor something is to have tremendous esteem and respect about something. To honor yourself is to have tremendous esteem and respect about yourself. But let's go a little bit further. The original British definition of honor, which is H-O-N-O-U-R, which is someone who is an exemplary person when it comes to the code of conducts. Someone who is an exemplary person when it comes to code of ethics. Someone who can be deemed as the good. Someone who is exemplary of the good. You must communicate, be able to communicate to someone, anyone, that you love and honor and respect yourself. Now, for you to be able to do that, you must be able to demonstrate it to yourself that you are worthy of love, honor, and respect. You can't, I'm looking at the time when I move, because the time is right there. Now, for you to be able to get love and respect and adoration and be honored by other people, you must first have that for yourself. The key is that if you were to clone yourself, would you look at that person who is your clone, who has the same every attribute that you have, and you say, would you be their best friend? If you don't immediately say, man, I would love to meet that person who's exactly like me, and I would love to be their best friend, then whatever reason that you have that you wouldn't be their best friend, fix it. Get to the person, get to the point where anybody would love to be around you and people would love to be around you. You must demonstrate to yourself. In order for you to do that, you have to be an honorable person. You must enhance yourself so you can become honorable, respectable, and appreciable by other people. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.